I know we're talking about Destiny.
Yeah, that's.
There's a
Okay.
lot. There's a lot to.
So, like most of
I'm
it.
not prepared.
Well, let's put it this way: do you guys want a rundown, or do you want to wing it?
Let's just wing it. I'd rather wing it. I do better winging it.
Okay.
The only stuff I'll give you to think about is at the end of it all. I'm gonna ask you guys some stupid shit.
Get it out of the way now,
Are you
Bradley.
guys getting any of this?
His picture's frozen, and I'm getting really quick little clips, but I still don't know what he's saying.
I can't.
Yeah, I don't know what he's saying either.
Well, that's fantastic.
He is really studying that paper, though.
Well, now he's looking at us, gazing into the.
That is
into
the death
screen.
stare.
That's the deep Mike Bradley stare.
I'm waiting for it to like catch up, like
I know.
fast forward all of a sudden, and then he's there.
It'd be funny if he's just not moving.
Like he's fucking with us.
Right.
He just decides to shut up and stand still for a little bit and see. Oh, he's trying. Something's nope.
Wah, wah.
Oh, wait. I think he's live now.
I've got a new position, but he's still not moving.
There you go.
Oh,
He's live. There he is.
He's back. Yeah.
I could hear you guys the whole time, so I was just posing and waiting.
He was fucking with us. Hello and welcome to another episode of Brian and Super Friends. I'm your host, Brian Labick. Joining me for this episode is Andy Stoles,
What's up, podcast people?
Mike Romano,
Podcast people.
and Mike Bradley.
I'm gonna stick in solidarity with Romano. I was a little bit disappointed with the podcast people today.
That was it. I know. I'm a little upset with you, Andy.
You can do better. Take two.
Are we letting it ride? I was going to let you try again, Andy.
No, we're letting it ride.
Yeah.
Making fun of Andy was better. But we're letting this ride too.
That's right. We make no mistakes. We just roll with it. It's all good.
That's it.
All right, so this week is going to be all about Destiny. So I'm going to start at least by saying this is an episode that's been a long time coming. We don't do as many video game themed shows as I would like to, but this is one of the things where the majority of us at least play the game on this show, so it's one of those things we want to talk about. We never really got around to. We wanted to give our thoughts on Destiny 2 shortly after release, but we wanted to at least try to let the game simmer, I think, before we started talking about it. And then it kept getting pushed back, and we had other topics that we started to cover, and partly because we couldn't get, the right group, I guess, on to talk about Destiny. We're still missing, Eric Beresford is missing in action. He is my and Romano's, the rest of our fire team. That's who we usually play with, the three of us. So I tried to get him on, he declined. So we're 2 of 3 for the fire team.
And our first alternate, Jason Snyder, he doesn't.
Oh, that's right.
Do this.
He ain't even gonna listen to this anyway.
No.
It's not even worth the shout out, Jay.
Playing Zelda.
So the time has finally arrived. We're gonna dedicate this entire episode to Bungie's first person shooter with some MMO RPG elements. I could try to go through some background of the game, try to summarize what it is, how to play it, some of the development cycle. But honestly, if you've picked this podcast to listen to, you already know all that, so I'm not going to waste your time. If you're a fan of this game, that's probably why you're listening, to hear a bunch of mediocre amateurs talk about the game like we're experts. However,
Yes.
we do, I feel like, have our resident Destiny expert on the show, Mr. Darth Pooey himself, Mike Bradley.
Darth.
Oh, you have to introduce me as Darth Pooey.
I have to.
Yeah, you got it.
Damn, that's got to stick. Okay, you know what? I don't mind that. And expert, I don't know. I've just wasted more of my life playing Destiny than I think you guys have.
Yeah, that's sort of where I want to start, because I know you've been prepping, so I'm going to hand this over to you in a minute. What I wanted to check with everybody and sort of just get a baseline to sort of see where we're at as far as how much we've played and stuff like that. So I have a couple questions I'll just throw out, and we'll go around and sort of answer them. When did you get into Destiny, whether it was 1 or 2? How often do you play? How far into one or both of the games have you progressed? And what is your primary character? So whoever would like to start answering those. We'll
Wait,
start.
run this by me one more time?
When did you get into the game? Either Destiny
Okay.
1 or 2. How
Okay.
often do you play?
Okay.
How far into one or both of the games did you progress?
Okay.
And your primary character.
Okay.
So,
I might as well go while it's fresh.
go for it.
I started Destiny 1 when Destiny first came out, back on PlayStation 3. But somebody, Brian Labick, I will remain unnamed, talked me away from PlayStation to getting an Xbox.
You make it sound like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, because I can't play the goddamn Spider-Man game still.
At the time we did that, you had no idea there was going to be that Spider-Man game.
We knew. So that's how long I've been playing. How frequent? Before I got Assassin's Creed at Christmas, I was playing just about every day, or relatively close to it, for probably at least an hour or two a day,
Yeah.
just to kill some time. And then I'm a warlock, and I still like my void class.
So
Stick with the Void
how
class.
far into 1 and 2, Destiny 1 and 2 did you get?
We did everything in one. I know that,
Okay.
because that was after I came back and got Xbox.
That's right, we started over
When I
with
bought
you.
when I bought the Xbox One, and we start because I had to start all over because I was in PlayStation. And we
So you guys did all the raids
everything.
and everything?
Yeah, we did all the raids and stuff like that. Because I remember when we first watched the Destiny 2, it showed like at the very beginning, it showed like your stats from the first one, and
Yeah.
it was like they kept showing Fire Team. It was Brian Labick, Eric Beresford, Brian Labick, Eric Beresford. It was like, so yes, we made it through all the raids, and the second one we haven't even touched a raid yet,
Yeah.
but we've done everything else.
Yeah. Andy, where are you at with all that? Do you need the questions repeated? I can do that.
No, I started with Destiny 1. I dabbled a little bit with the raids in Destiny 1, didn't really get too far other than that. I play on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. Destiny 2, I've done just about everything except for the heroic Mercury quests and the raid.
Okay.
And I probably play between 3 and 4 times a week.
Okay. Primary character?
I am a hunter.
Nice. Bradley?
Okay. I played Destiny 1 basically from the time that you, Brian, told me that I needed to start playing it.
Yeah, because that's right. You came into it late.
Yeah.
He came after you,
I
Mike.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was Rise of Iron.
Yeah.
So I started with Rise of Iron, and Brian talked me into it. And
Apparently I'm the instigator for everybody. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
well, it worked. He's since tried other things, talking me into other games, and some of them yes, some of them no have worked.
I still want you to
but
bite on GTA. I keep trying.
You do keep trying. Maybe someday it'll work, but I got through pretty much everything in both of the games. Thanks to Brian, this is a year later. Well, year and a half, 18 months later, and 450 raids, something like that. I kind of obsessed a bit.
Holy shit. I've done each of them once.
Well, yeah, I got obsessed with doing the raids. The raiding is what I play Destiny for. The story in Destiny 1, it was there, I played for it. Story in Destiny 2, same thing, but by the time I got to raiding, I felt like that's what I wanted to do with the game. I felt like where the most depth in the game was and what I had the most fun doing. So yeah, I've dropped a lot of time in a short time span into Destiny. I main a Titan in Destiny 2. I also have a second Titan in Destiny 2, and I also have a third Titan in Destiny 2. I had a Warlock at one time in Destiny 2. I had a Hunter at one time in Destiny 2. Basically just did those to get the achievements. Destiny 1, I was 100% Warlock. That was my main for that one, but I felt like Titans or more my thing. Destiny 2.
Yeah. All right, so we'll end with me. I started playing Destiny 1 on 360. I think it was probably shortly after it came out, if not day one. Eventually upgraded to Xbox One, started playing on Xbox One. Went through the majority of the game. I know we did all the raids. I don't know if I did all the raids on like the heroic, like the harder difficulty for all of them, but I definitely did at least complete all the stuff in Destiny 1. Destiny 2, I did most of the stuff. I think I'm probably around the same place Romano is. I know we've done a lot of this. We finished the stories, all the different stories, even Osiris and all that stuff. Haven't done the raids. I think we've tried Prestige, Nightfall, and some of that stuff a couple times, but keep getting our ass handed to us, so that's few and far between. We still haven't finished those. How often do I play? When it first came out, it was probably every couple days. Then it got to be like every week, and now it's been to the point where I've taken probably a week or two off in between and come back to it here and there. But so that's probably something we can get into later. Talked about my progress. Primary character for me, I think Destiny 1, I had one of each in Destiny 1 and bounced around a lot between all of them. Started with a Hunter. I think I eventually sort of settled on a Titan, so when Destiny 2 came around, I've been Titan primarily and haven't really... I actually created a Hunter and Warlock on Destiny 2, but haven't got them up to speed. So it's still mostly been all Titan for me. Alright, so at least, we run around. That'll give you, an idea of what kind of Destiny experience each of us has had up to this point. So I will hand it over to Darth Pui, who is actually prepared for this.
You introduced me as that twice. You had to get it in multiple times.
Oh, it's never going to get old. It's never going to get old.
For you. So what I'd really like to try and talk about, guys, is where Destiny's at right now, how we feel about it, where we stand on things now and what we like, what we don't like, and then talk about the future and see what's coming up for Destiny, what's going to change. I mean, just yesterday they put out their timeline with changes and lots of big changes coming. Last couple this week at Bungie reports have been telling a lot about what's coming up soon. So we've got a lot of new information about what they're going to do with the game. But let's start on where we're at now. So first question I'd have for you guys is, what do you guys think of the story so far?
Overall, just Destiny 2, or are we talking Destiny 2, like combo?
Destiny 2. Yeah, we'll talk about... we'll assume that everybody knows and has had opinions for a long time about Destiny 1 on all this stuff. But the newly formed opinions from the Red War and Curse of Osiris storylines. Just the story in general, not the, anything else. Just how do you feel about what they did with the story?
Go ahead, Andy. You started.
I really enjoyed playing through the Red War and fighting Gaul. I thought that it was vastly improved over Destiny 1. I still enjoy going back and playing the meditations through a core array. That being said, I feel like Osiris is such a figurehead to the story and the background to everything that they kind of copped out a little bit in the Osiris story part. It was fun and the bosses were fantastic, a lot of fun, but I feel like Osiris needs more fleshing out. I want more Osiris, basically.
Need some more Oded Fair love.
Yeah.
Could listen to him all day, really.
Yeah.
It's very easy to listen to him.
It's kind of like Morgan Freeman. He could read me a bedtime story.
Okay. Romano?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I fall in the same, category as Andy. I get it. Yeah, it was an expansion pack, the first expansion with it. So that I still feel like they could have did more with the story, that part of Osiris. But the Red War was awesome. I enjoyed playing that a lot, like immensely. Like I didn't want to actually stop playing the story mode. But just the change and just the scenery and just how like you lose your powers, you got to get them back, and I think kind of having to start over but not start over. I guess that's kind of how you explain it.
I think
Make it almost like a brand new game, kind of.
I think that was one of the disappointments a lot of us had with the story at the beginning, at least, was how
It was a little
quickly
tedious.
just how quickly we get back our powers. It's like they're gone, and then, before you even really start the campaign,
Yeah.
you have your powers
I guess it's been a
back
while,
again.
so I guess I'm kind of yeah.
But I mean, it's a cool idea. I just wish we
Yeah.
had to play a few missions without powers.
Yeah.
I mean, that was something that I thought would have been cool to change Destiny up that much that, now we have a couple missions where you got to go through this and you got nothing because they took it.
Yeah.
I never.
I guess you're right. Yeah, it would have been pretty cool.
I mean, I also see where they're coming from too, at least from a development standpoint, where you're trying to introduce new people to the game that didn't play Destiny 1. And one of the fun things about Destiny 1 is using your superpowers. So if you don't get them back for half the story, all those new people that are like, what is all the fuss about? I thought you would be able to do cool shit with your characters. You don't get to do anything until halfway through.
Well, especially because, all the promos is like the big dude with the fucking flames throwing flaming swords. I mean, shit
the
like
Void
that. It's
Captain
like,
America shield and all that stuff. Yeah.
they show all that stuff, and if you start playing it, you ain't got crap like that. And it's like, wow, that's what am I gonna do to get this?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Gaul and that storyline the first time through. I enjoyed it when I played it, and now that I'm like, I have to make I want to try to make 2 other characters, but I have to slog through that fucking story again. That always seems like an unnecessary grind to want to play that again. Not that I hated it.
I guess if I was doing that too, I guess it probably would not be as sought after.
It's not bad when you start, but then it's just like, okay, I just want to get my new guy up to level 20 so I can start using all my other shit and sort of feel like I'm finally getting into the game at that point. The Osiris story, I remember liking. I couldn't tell you what the hell happened. I have no recollection, and it's largely forgettable for me what they were trying to tell in that story.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I fall with it too.
Well, with that weird Infinite Forest thing, there's so many weird, strange possibilities that I think it is confusing. Plus,
there's a different
there's like a Basrillion Osirises, so you're like,
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm a sucker for like time travel stories, but because we're just like hearing it and we're not really seeing a lot of it, I feel like I get confused as to what's happening and why, and I can't wrap my head around it. And then I just like, okay, I'm just gonna go here and shoot stuff.
Yeah, I personally felt the same kind of way. Red War, I thought, was incredibly well done. I thought there was a lot of really good things about the original story with Destiny 2, and I feel like there's a lot of what happened in that we're going to see happen with story down the road. I don't think, did the speaker actually die was always something that was in my head. Is he actually dead, or is he coming back? What's the deal with the speaker? We don't know. I think things like that were really cool. The cutscenes were really well done. I do miss Grimoire. I know a lot of people don't, and they want more story played out for them. I like the mystery that was involved in Grimoire. But as far as the Osiris campaign goes, I really felt like half of it was almost like half of the plan seemed almost like, let's see how many times we can get Oded Fair to say Panoptes on Mike here and go with that.
It was repetitive.
Yeah.
Very repetitive.
And I felt like it needed fleshed out more. It felt more like Destiny 1's story for Curse of Osiris than the Red War did. Which I like, with there's Grimoire behind it for me to go and discover the rest of the mysteries that are going on that are causing things. Why is this happening, that happening? And when there's not, it feels like it falls short of that.
I think to me, some of it was like just level design. Like every story mission and every strike you do on Mercury sends you through the Infinite Forest, and they're trying to tell you that this is a different time and a different scenario. And meanwhile, you get in there and everything looks the fucking same.
Yeah.
And you just run past all of it.
Right, yeah, how do I tell the difference? Just point me in a direction to shoot stuff and I'm okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely the case. The Infinite Forest, I really hope they do more with in the future. I was honestly, when it was coming out and they were talking about it, I was hoping we were getting some kind of horde mode out of Infinite Forest.
Yeah.
And
that would be slick.
It would, but maybe in the future, because I do have a quote later on talking about those kinds of things are making their way into Destiny 2. So, overall, I mean, I think it seems like it's a fairly unanimous decision on that the Red War was a really great storyline, and Osiris fell kind of short.
Yeah.
So, I mean, other things to talk about right now with Destiny 2 is the strikes. We have Vanguard, Heroic, and Nightfall strikes. And for me right now, I don't see a purpose in doing Vanguard strikes when Heroic strikes are available. And I feel like that was Destiny 1 as well. After a certain point, once you got to a certain level, the Vanguard strikes became useless.
Yeah.
And it was Heroic strikes, Nightfall, or nothing. But that said, how do you guys feel about the current 7 strikes we have on Xbox, or 8 that Andy has on PlayStation?
Oh, you bastard, that extra strike.
What strike do I have that's extra?
He doesn't even know.
The Lake strike? The Lake of something? Something Lake?
Ringing any bells?
Nope.
I can't remember. I honestly don't have the name of it, but it's on EDZ.
It's the Taken one?
In the EDZ, there's a Taken one?
Yeah.
Then yes.
Probably.
Okay.
That doesn't sound familiar to me.
Yeah, that's the one that you have your own.
Yeah, it's got a big, the Taken Cabal shield Phalanx Sky boss at the end around a big pool of weird radioactive ooze stuff.
Okay.
Fair enough.
You guys have not done that one, I take it?
No.
I did not know that I had an exclusive, sorry.
Yeah, that's an exclusive strike.
Yeah.
Another reason why I should be mad at you, Brian, for making me get away from PlayStation.
Well, it's a
That's
timed
why.
exclusive. We'll get it in a year.
Yeah. We'll be way behind, but we'll get it. We'll get the Borealis too.
Well, that's an exclusive as well?
Yeah.
Andy's like, I have all this exclusive shit that I didn't know
What's
about.
Borealis? What's
It's
that?
an
Borealis is
exotic
a
sniper.
sniper rifle that you can actually change the
Element.
energy type by just holding triangle in.
Oh, kind of like the what is it? The
Hardlight.
Hardlight, yeah.
Yeah, but Hardlight you have to go in and change it yourself.
Oh, that's right.
Like
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
Borealis you
system.
can do on the
You can
fly.
Do it on the fly, yeah.
That's pretty cool. But I don't use a sniper rifle, but that's pretty cool.
Whatever the reticle picks up, it'll have like the color change. You know, like if you're on solar, it'll be orange. If you're on arc, it'll be like that bluish white, and if you're on void, it'll be purple. So you just change it, and then you look, and you're like, "That's not the right one." And then
Then you miss your target anyway.
yeah,
And you do like a third the damage that you'd want to because you're using a sniper rifle as your heavy.
Yeah.
That's a problem that they're assessing as well. But
Trying to beef up the sniper rifles.
yeah, snipers, fusions, shotguns, all that kind of stuff. But so what do you guys think of strikes so far?
I mean, I don't mind playing them. I think the biggest thing for me was I was jacked off that when, like, from the get-go, you had Vanguard or Nightfall, nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
I think that was the dumbest thing. Like, why would why would you not have that there?
Yeah, because I vividly remember me, Romano, and Eric trying to play some Nightfalls because they seemed like they were more our light. Like I think it said like minimum light level for the Nightfalls at one point was like 270 or something.
Yeah, and we were all like 280.
Yeah, so we're
plus.
rolling in at like 290, almost 300 light level, and we're like, oh, we can cake this. And we get our ass handed to us, and then you're looking at the enemy types that are killing you, and they're up above 300, and you're like, why the fuck does it say 270 is the level if every time you play it, it beefs up to match you?
The entire game
irritated the
does
shit
that,
out of me.
actually. So regardless of, you can't outlevel your competition in this game. So you go in, like right now, the Prestige raid is down at 300, and you go in there, and it levels you right down so that the Prestige enemies are just as difficult as they were before the update.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
when
guess it was never, I guess, is more apparent to me. Like, if it does it in the rest of the game, well, maybe I'd notice it more if we did raids and stuff, but I never noticed as much until we started trying to play the Nightfall and just kept getting our asses handed to us.
the only way that I noticed that is when you go and you just start exploring or doing the flashpoint or whatever, the enemies that you just find when you're doing patrols and whatnot are never easier, ever. No matter what level,
okay.
what light level you are, they're never easier.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean that's something that I like and I don't like. You know what I mean? Like, I want there to be some content in this game that I feel extremely overpowered to be doing. Something where, you know, it's like, okay, I got through a stressful raid, let me go and just, like, pub stomp some ads real quick in the EDZ.
Yeah.
Like, let me just go one-shot them with fucking sidearms for a little while and have some fun.
Yeah, that is annoying that you're not able to do that. That was like that in Destiny 1, too, because when they revisited it, what was the first raid?
Vault of Glass.
Vault of Glass, you went to try and do that, even though you were ready for the Taken King, everything leveled right up with you, so it's like you couldn't go in that and like fire team it or something, you know, you had to actually get a whole raid group that was familiar with it to actually go through it again.
Yeah.
Right, but come Rise of Iron, you could go in and kick the shit out of Atheon without much effort at all.
Oh, see, Rise of Iron I didn't even bother with.
Yeah, when you'd go back to play Vault of Glass, we went in and we one-phased Atheon using only the Outbreak Prime. Like, all six of us just using Outbreak Prime were able to one-phase Atheon. And
Jesus.
And that's just the amount of damage you do when you put it on those old ones, is that you really did out-level them by that much. It wasn't so much the ads or anything like that, it's just they kept the health level of the bosses at the old numbers, but they let your damage numbers level with you.
See, I'd even be okay with that.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that would start to make things easier and easier.
I don't want to get stressed out playing. I don't. I play video games to de-stress, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't play Crucible that much, because I can go de-stress playing Crucible. Like, if I just want to just go around and just shoot some shit, just let me go shoot some shit.
Yeah.
And make it easy. Let me just kill shit.
PvP is not the place to go when you want to just have fun and dick around.
No.
Well,
I gotta be in a certain mindset for that.
Yeah.
So we're talking, like, you know, the heroic strikes and everything, and they're talking about modifiers being put onto them now, and they're talking about Nightfall is going to lose the timer, and they're going to add new modifiers to the Nightfall strikes.
So they're turning it into Destiny 1.
Slowly. Yeah. And what came out yesterday is that they're going to have what they called Nightfall scorecards, which I'm assuming something like Challenge of Elders, like, you know, a scorecard of some sort like that. As opposed to...
I thought I was interpreting... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I was interpreting that as like the strike scoring. Isn't that going to be a thing?
Well, that's listed separately on their checklist.
Okay.
They do have strike scorings coming, but then they also have, you know, the Nightfall cards or something like that, they said.
Okay.
And the other big thing that's coming is Nightfall exclusive loot. So evidently we're going to be getting some loot in Nightfalls that is the only place to get it is through that Nightfall. Now, I don't know if that means that each individual strike is going to get some specific loot put onto it for when it is Nightfall, or if that means that Nightfall in general is going to have some loot that you can get out of it just for doing Nightfall strikes, and it doesn't matter which strike specifically. But
how cool would that be, though, to have like a single piece from each of the different strikes that you can possibly get from each of the Nightfalls? That would be kind of cool. Tedious
that's what
as
I was
fuck.
thinking.
Tedious as fuck, but cool.
Yeah, but
it gives you a reason to
armor
try
into each
do
one.
all of them. Yeah,
like, you know, you get helmets from this Nightfall, you get arms from this one. That'll get people coming back week to week to make sure they do the Nightfall to complete that armor set, especially if it looks cool.
Right.
Like, they got to make it one that people want if they do it that way. Like,
yeah, that would definitely give me more incentive to try to, even though I feel like I'm going to get my ass kicked in the Nightfall, it still gives me more incentive to try to do it.
Destiny 2, I've only done one Nightfall, and we failed miserably the first time. And the second time, we did it with 5:13 left, so I actually was able to get the Rat King.
Yeah, okay.
Which is pretty cool.
Well, Brian, Mike, anytime you guys want to do the Rat King thing, I can get you guys through that any week you want. But that aside,
because I'd like to just get that little icon off my fucking thing, because it bothers me because I can't make it go away. It's taking up a slot.
That first week or two of Destiny, that was like an exclusive thing to have. I was very proud to have that early on. And, that was something, for me specifically, like I remember taking a screenshot when I got the Nightfall done, and it was like 0.04% of gamers had the achievement by that time. So I was like, I was proud of myself for that, but it was also just fucking maddening to actually get it done that early.
Yeah.
It was so fucking tough.
Yeah. And nobody even uses the Rat King anymore.
No. Nobody, like, once you get it, it's just getting it out of your inventory, and it goes in the vault, and you'll never see it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a slick-looking gun, though.
Yeah, it's cool. It sounds cool. When a teammate's nearby and the rat's eyes light up and shit, it looks pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like somebody
did that.
has
I don't think I've ever seen it in action. So, because none of us have it. So,
I have it.
Oh, you do?
I do. I ran through a Nightfall without you one time.
You cheating son of a bitch!
I know.
Is that Donnie?
Donnie and Tim, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheating whore. I
so
thought I knew you.
It was one of those nights when you got off at 9:30 and I was still playing.
Oh yeah, but now you know my pain because you get up at a normal time.
Yeah, now I'm right with you. 10 o'clock, I'm done.
So, what modifiers do you guys want to see come in? Yeah, I mean that's a big question. Is like, do you want ones coming back from Destiny 2, or can you come up with any unique ideas that if Bungie's listening, they can steal your shit?
I like the burn modifiers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. I mean, they have a variation of that rotates every 30 seconds, which I deal with that. I still would rather have it. I think just be one stuck burn the entire time.
Yeah. I want to get rid of the one where you have to run around to regain your shield. I hate that.
Yeah, momentum is rather annoying.
It's such a pain in the ass. Because I feel like you're defeating yourself and playing the game then. Because you're too busy running around to try to get your shield back.
Yeah.
What about the one where you never pick up ammo for the current
Juggler?
one you're fighting? Yeah, Juggler.
Yeah, Juggler.
Juggler was annoying, but I liked it because it made you switch.
Yeah, exactly. Especially since you can carry 2 auto rifles now, and I like that.
Wasn't there a jumping one where...
Oh yeah, you took more damage,
double damage in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You dealt more damage, but you also took more damage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those ones are cool. I'd like to see Catapult return.
Which one was that?
That was
grenades recharge faster.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I knew it sounded familiar. I couldn't remember which one it was.
Well, they do have one now that your abilities recharge faster, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that works for grenades and melee and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not quite what Daybreak was. Like, I feel like, I think that's just a Destiny 2 thing in general. Like, Daybreak was the same idea in Destiny 1. But I feel like I'll go back and mess around in Destiny 1 now, and Daybreak was the modifier last week for the Nightfall. And
well, that shit's still up and running.
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay.
And I went into solo the Nightfall because, well, what the hell? And your super ability comes back incredibly fast with Daybreak by comparison to what Torrent does.
Right.
But the grenades for Torrent, I feel like, come back way faster.
I love being able to chuck grenades like every 3 seconds. You're just chucking grenades.
Yeah, exactly. You almost forget that you could throw them that fast.
Yeah.
It's like
I think I've made it through a Nightfall when Torrent's on without using a gun. Just because doing a Titan with double pulse grenades...
you just constantly...
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's my go-to. I love those grenades.
But I'll give you another example of why that's great is you do a Titan, you put on a Hallow Fireheart, the exotic chest piece, and you run thermite grenades, and just don't use your super when it comes up, and you can pretty much just constantly throw a grenade. By the time the grenade hits the ground, you can just throw another one.
That's awesome.
So, it's... Yeah, I love doing that, too.
I feel like I'm missing out being a Titan, though.
See, there's still time. Make another one.
No, dude, I'm too committed. I can't start over. I'm too committed.
He's
I
gone
can't
too
start
far.
over.
He's gone too
Nah,
far.
if somebody wants to come over and play my Xbox for me to get me back up, they're more than welcome to.
I'll run my level 2 Warlock with you if you make a Titan.
No.
That was a fast no, too.
Shut down.
And see, what am I running?
You cheated on me, no.
I'll recov man meatball for $100. I'll get you up there. So, do you guys have a favorite strike or one that you absolutely hate?
I hate the one that you have to jump up the darkness, up the different platforms, and you get to this level with the weird powered shanks and the invisible fallen guy.
Oh yeah, that's
yes,
the one
yes.
everybody hates.
Fucking
Yes.
hate that one. Because
Yeah,
he
the
fucking
Vandal.
he bum rushes you, and then you're off the damn platform, and you're like, fuck you.
That's the one on Nessus, Romano, where you go in
Yeah.
through failsafe ship.
Oh, yeah, okay, alright. I don't think I maybe only played that once or twice, I think.
You're lucky because I
Yeah, that
can't
one's
tell you how many
terrible.
times I start the heroic strike playlist and it puts me in that one first, and I just back
can't-
out and restart the search for a
Yeah.
different strike.
I can't tell you how many
so
times
hard.
I've played the one where you fall down 3 times, you fight that one dude, you fall down. I
Inverted
swear to God,
Spire.
every time I play a freaking strike, that's the one I play. It's
See, I love that
played
one,
them-
though.
That one is fun, yeah.
It's alright, but I get tired of it because it's always like
Well,
I
challenge
don't think
yourself.
I don't think
Try
I've
and
played
kill
all
him.
7 of them.
Try and kill him before he drops down for the third drop. Like, before you get to the third spot. Try and kill him on the second
Yeah, I'm
level.
not that good, Mike. We're not that good.
You can do it. I'm saying it's definitely doable.
I'm sure it is, but no.
The PlayStation exclusive one is fun. I didn't know
We
it was
wouldn't know, Andy.
I didn't know it was an
We
exclusive,
wouldn't know.
but it is fun. I
Stop
mean,
rubbing it in.
when
Andy.
you guys when you guys do get it, you will enjoy it, I believe.
Well, yeah, at that point, it'll be all new to us. We'll be like, new strikes, fuck yeah.
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 I look forward to new strikes. My personal favorite's still Pyramidion.
I think between that and the Inverted Spire, I think those are probably my two.
Yeah. The beta strike is just pure fun, but I feel like I'm too good at it now because I feel like I've run it more than any of the others. But I feel like a machine going through that one where it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I could probably do it blind because it comes up so often.
That's a test we should try.
I am not blinding myself to do that stuff.
Just like a handkerchief over your eyes.
Yeah, we're not saying
But that wouldn't grant me
flashlights in
the-
your eyes.
That would not grant me the heightened sense of hearing and smell and shit that I would if I was
What
actually...
do you need a heightened sense of smell to play PlayStation or Xbox for? Jesus.
You never know.
You don't know what
Yeah,
kind of home
where's
theater
my
setup he
beer?
has.
Oh,
May-
I can
maybe
smell
I'll
it.
get the echolocation.
Because you don't have a
like
sense of height and
Daredevil.
smell. You don't know what your PlayStation's doing.
I'm gonna
It
say,
might be thinking differently.
Yeah, you don't know, man. It could do lots of things, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's-
When it
smells
adds all
like
them
the-
ads, it might be thinking a little harder, so it might put off a different smell.
Yeah, it smells like the processor's up 10%.
Yeah.
We
You
must
never
be at
know.
this level.
It's gearing up. The boss must be coming out. All right, so I think overall strikes are fun at this point, and I think they're going to get better. So my question to you is, I know you guys have not yet done either of the raids in Destiny 2 yet.
Correct.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question I would have for you guys is, why haven't you attempted them yet?
I don't have 6 hours to dedicate.
Brian's
4
giving me the
plus.
same excuse, and I've told him I can get him through that in a lot less. Brian, go.
Yeah, I think it's more scheduling. I've said on occasion I don't like playing with strangers. I would rather roll in with a team of like my friends, 6 of us. The problem is scheduling, just to block out even 2 to 3 hours a night with 6 people. It was hell trying to coordinate raids for Destiny 1. And it seems like it's
Yeah.
even harder now.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy?
Granted, Bradley,
go
I
ahead.
know if I ever want to run it, I'd take you up on that. Believe me. If I ever just want to get it done, I will let you know.
The Titan,
Yeah,
the Titan
seriously.
gear from the raid's the one that's most worth it, man. It's the coolest looking from the raid. At least the first raid. From the raid lair, loot is not a reason to do that raid lair. Especially as
Well,
a
that's
Titan.
supposed to change, right?
No, I'm saying like it looks like shit. Like if
Yeah,
you
okay,
like the
I
way a
gotcha,
Titan
okay.
might look, that raid lair, you're gonna look like a fat ass toad. I can show you what it looks like sometime if you want to see. I do have the whole set just because I have a compulsive I have every piece of Titan armor you can possibly have in the game.
The completionist.
Yeah, I have the white armor, the green armor, the blue armor. I have it all.
Jesus.
Well, I got bored, and I figured that was a good collection method. Is have every single possible piece. I think I have like 126 unique pieces of Titan armor.
Jesus.
Some shit like that. But
Is that including the ornaments and stuff?
the only ornaments I currently don't have are the Iron Banner helmet and the Iron Banner chest piece.
Okay.
I gotta finish those
God
this week at
damn
some point.
Iron Banner.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week, and their fucking grenade and melee kill one for the chest is just fucking evil.
Jesus. Yeah, I saw that.
It's the number on it is what's evil about it. If it was 50, it would be like, okay, cool, whatever. It's 200. It's
Yeah,
it's a
I thought I
percentage
got a
counter.
decent. I played Iron Banner the other day for a couple matches, and I thought I was getting some decent grenade kills. And I looked at that ornament; it said I was 2% done. I was like, "Fuck you! I'm never touching it again."
You have all season though, so
That would take me forever because the Warlock grenades are not that good. They are not that good.
you got a pulse grenade though. You know, you can.
Warlocks have pulse grenade?
Yeah.
I don't know. I always roll a void, so I don't know. I have the one that like chases you.
Oh yeah, no, those are fun. So basically, you guys like Andy. Why have you not got into a raid? I know they both said trouble getting together for.
Well,
it.
yeah, scheduling is definitely a problem. With me working
Third shift, gotcha.
when I work third shift, like I can only play and do stuff until like 9:00, 9:30 if I'm pushing it, and that's generally when people are kind of winding down and starting to play Destiny 2. So like, unless they want to start early at like 6, like I can't really do that unless I want to take a huge lump out of like the weekend where I actually do get to sleep and do things like a normal person. So, which
You had a raid crew for Destiny 1, didn't you? Weren't you doing some raids for Destiny 1?
we
on
started
third shift?
doing the raids, yeah. But
Did you do that like in the afternoon sometime, or?
yeah, we kind of had to start at like 6 or 7.
Okay.
So
Okay. For me, yeah, I feel like the Leviathan raid itself, at this point for me is just a lot of fun. I've done it enough times that it's very easy to me at this point. We got a clan full of people, and unfortunately for me in some ways, and fortunately for me in others, I constantly have people from the clan asking for help with it. Which I really honestly do not mind that much. I say that I might, but you know what, I don't mind it, just so long as people want to learn the raid so that they can help other people learn the raid. And that's what my goal with people in our clan is like, I will help anybody in our clan learn that raid, get them through 2, 3, 4 times so that they really know it and they can help other people in the clan get through it as well. And you have more reliable people in the clan to run the raid with.
Sherpas making Sherpas.
Yeah, and for me, it's a matter of I don't need to do any of it. And I feel like that's also a reason more people haven't been into the raid. I know that Bungie at one time had said that they wanted to make the raids more accessible for people. And I feel like by not locking endgame content and endgame levels behind the raid and behind Trials, Iron Banner, behind specific activities, I feel like they pulled people away from doing the raid, away from having to do Nightfall, away from having to do any of the hardest content in the game, because to reach maximum level, you don't have to do it. You just do
Right.
your weekly Crucible matches, do your weekly Flashpoints, just keep rolling out your engrams and you'll be perfectly fine getting there on your own. So I think that was the wrong direction to go in, personally, if they wanted more people to actually manage to do the raid. So, but that said, the raid layer, I feel like is the most fun I've had in raid content, yet. So,
It's a high bar.
it's a very, very high bar they set with that one. And it takes a lot less time to get through that than to get through a whole raid. It's just, one boss, two phases to the boss. And it's a little bit complicated. It sounds very daunting at first when you first get it explained to you, but I gotta say, being there the first day, figuring out exactly what had to be done without looking it up, to me, that's what I love about Destiny 2 raids, is I didn't get that opportunity in Destiny 1, because I started so late. So anytime I went into a raid, everybody already knew exactly what to do. Everything with it was going on. I come into Destiny 2, I'm in there day one, getting through the Leviathan raid, I'm in there day one, getting through the Eater of Worlds, and I'm figuring this shit out for myself. And that, to me, is where there's a lot of fun. Part of the disappointment for me with the raids is the lack of secrets. Destiny 1 raids all had some kind of secret thing going on, even if it was as simple as the secret chests that were hidden in the Abyss in Crota.
Yeah.
Like the secret chest you got for doing challenge mode on Templar before it was actually challenge mode. Those things were there. The basketball court in Oryx. That, even though it was useless and provided you with no loot, it was a secret. It was a cool, fun thing to go and do for no fucking reason.
Wait, there was a basketball court?
They called it the basketball court of Oryx.
I don't remember that.
It's a very tough thing to get into. Believe it or not, it's actually really tough to get in. And it was kind of like dropped content that they probably planned to include some kind of secret there, and they scrapped the idea. But basically, you go through a pretty tough process to open up a
glitch
door.
Through a wall or something.
Well, do you remember the dick? No, you don't have to actually glitch through. There's an actual way to open it. Like, there's... do you remember the dick wall in Kingsfall? With the things that would pop out and push you off the wall while you're trying to do the jumping puzzle? So in
dick wall? Is that what you called it? The dick wall?
Yeah, we can call it the dick wall, because they look like big dicks punching you off the wall.
I didn't know it was called that.
Yeah. Anyways, throughout that room... Throughout, like, that whole big area, there's several different sets of, like, crystals, and you have to stand next to them. When you stand next to one, it lights up. And if you stand next to each one in a specific order, it opens up the door to the basketball court of Oryx. In the basketball court, there's kind of... how, like, when you first launch into Kingsfall, there's the orbs you go and pick up? Mm-hmm. So there's something similar to that in that room. And there's a place where you can dunk it.
Oh.
But nothing ever came from it. There was people that spent countless hours in that room trying to figure out why this was, what to do with it, how to make something actually happen in there, and nobody ever figured anything out. So it's really just assumed that nothing is actually there more than in a fun little dumbass room.
Mike says, quote-unquote, people. It was really him spending days there trying to figure something out.
Hold on. I will explain that one. I didn't. Because it had been a full year since Kingsfall released when I came into Destiny. So I will defend myself on that. People had been doing it for a long time before I got there, and I just went to Reddit, found out that people had been doing it, and was like, okay, so there's nothing here, because how many, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people have tried to figure this shit out, and they got nothing. But I miss the secrets. Supposedly secrets are making a comeback. I will get to that. But before that, I'm going to move on, push us forward, and we'll talk about the PvP in this game.
Dreaded PvP.
Yes, well, any if you're talking about this game, you have to bring up the PvP aspect of it. So I'll try and keep things light and not bring in the salt that PvP in this game tends to inspire in all of us.
Fuck you, Trials.
So, do you have a favorite map to play on?
I don't know if I could even tell you map names. And I probably don't play enough to have a favorite.
Okay. I was if you describe it, I can get the idea, and I'm sure the listeners would too.
I think my favorite map is the only one that they repeated from Destiny 1.
Oh, Distant Shore.
Yeah.
I like that one. I'm hoping they do some more of that.
Yeah, I'd really like to play on a lot of the old ones.
Yeah, I come to think of it, I do think I liked a lot of Destiny 1 Crucible maps better than Destiny 2 Crucible maps.
I wish they
agree
had
with that.
larger maps.
I'm looking forward to that as well.
Is that,
That's supposed to be coming because they're going to be looking at 6v6.
okay? Because
So,
that's something I
they're gonna
definitely
have to.
miss. I miss the Halo feel of Destiny 1 PvP, where you had vehicles and like a lot of players and like big long distances where you couldn't even see the sniper that just shot you.
Yeah, because that's always fun, getting
A
sniped
lot of
and not
stuff
seeing the
is
guy.
a lot more like close quarters. Like a lot
Yeah.
of, yeah.
Well, that comes with
Yeah.
the smaller team size. They went
It's
4v4
true,
instead
yeah,
of 6v6.
Yeah, I mean, I like
Yeah.
the 4v4, but I feel like I want the option to do bigger maps as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think more PvP options is all for the better. The more options they give you in PvP, the better it is. Because if you introduce 6v6, 4v4, even if you introduce 3v3 at some point too, you're just basically widening the audience that will want to play those different modes.
Right.
Well, not only that, but Destiny 1, you could pick what game type you wanted to search for. You could search for control. You could search for deathmatch. And this one's it's either what?
It's just
Competitive, quick
Yeah.
play, or trials, and that's it.
Yeah. That's something that we've been harping for a long time now, since the launch of the game, was why can't we pick which game mode we want to play, and why is there only 3 modes of quick play?
Yeah.
I
I want to throw my controller when I get Fellwinter's Peak and Supremacy. I'm just like, motherfucker, not again.
I can't.
See-
I have to say that Felder's Peak's probably one of my favorite levels, and probably because I think I play the best on that level.
Really? I
Yeah.
can't get the angles down on that one for some reason.
I love Fellwinter's Peak, but not for Supremacy. I agree with you on wanting to throw the controller when it's that map for Supremacy. When it's Control or when it's Clash,
Oh,
I'm
Control.
thrilled to play there.
It's not bad, but Supremacy.
I hate Control. Period.
I love Control. I've been having.
I hate
I've
Control. I
been
just give me
having.
Clash the whole time.
I've been having a blast with the Iron Banner. This current Iron Banner, just because it is all Control. Like I don't have to do any stinky Supremacy or clashes, which is awesome.
But my biggest problem with Control is the people that you matchmake with that don't know how to play Control.
That's probably why I don't like Control.
Don't get the idea of how to defend a zone. They just capture a zone and run and leave it undefended.
That's me. I do that. I'm guilty of that.
So many people do that, and I'm just kind of like, if we just
I am
hold this
all
zone-
offense.
Well,
Yeah,
I always
that-
like if I capture a zone with like let's say 2 or 3 people, I always see if they're gonna run off, and if they run off, I stay. If they stay, then I run off, and whether they run off after I run off, I don't know. I can't tell. I don't give a fuck if they do, But I assumed that they were staying because they stayed.
And that's something else that drives me nuts too, is that you'll have 2 or 3 people standing in the cap point, and you only need one that moves at the same pace, whether there's 1 or 4 people in the cap.
Oh, it doesn't help you. It doesn't make you go faster.
I thought it got a little bit quicker with more people.
Yeah.
It used to. It doesn't. It
I'd
doesn't
say
in
that's
Destiny
like- yeah, I
2.
thought it
Destiny
did.
1 it did. Destiny 2
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Well, shit.
Well,
I'm gonna stop
stupid
doing
mechanic.
that.
Yeah.
So you have one person in the cap point, and the other 2 or 3 should be off trying to make sure they don't kill the person in the cap point.
That might be a
Um,
Battlefront thing for me then, because I feel like
Well,
those
especially if
games-
Destiny 1 did it.
Yeah.
Like, they trained you in Destiny 1 to put more people in the control point to do
Right.
it
You
that
always
way.
see more people jumping in there, and I think
Yeah.
everybody thinks it gets faster.
Maybe it's because it's only
I thought it did.
maybe it's only because it's 4v4 instead of like what was Destiny
6v6.
66.
yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
less people, so like you would want to be able to capture it faster with this one because you might not have those teammates next to you. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a game mode that I don't mind, but it's very difficult unless you have a set team that you play with to have success at it regularly. And I do have set people that I play with, but I don't have a set team of 4 where it's the same 3 teammates that I have all the time. It's a few people that rotate in and out. Some of them are better than others. I at best am mediocre, and I don't mind that, you know what I mean? But it's very difficult to maintain a high level of play when you're playing Control unless you have that group that just does it right every time.
Yeah.
Like with a strategy and a plan. That being said, how'd you guys enjoy Mayhem?
I love Mayhem.
Is that the one with
Because it
the
is. It's just total fucking chaos.
the ultra fast supers and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun and frustrating.
Well, yeah, but it's more fun than frustrating to me.
So you were
I
Nova
think so.
Bomb glitching then, Mike? Were you
No.
using that Nova Bomb glitch, the infinite Nova Bomb glitch?
That
I know I
No.
tried to
No.
explain that to you at some point,
That
and
shit
I can't remember if we ever figured out.
was so
how to do
annoying.
it.
You just heard like, pew, pew,
I got killed by it all the time, and
pew.
Mike, I tried to tell you that you could do that, and I don't know if we ever figured it out.
No, I don't think I didn't know that.
It wasn't. Here's the thing: is like it was a glitch, but honestly, they were so easy to kill when people were doing that because you had your super so fast. All you had to do was be running Hammer, Titan, or Golden Gun, and just take them out from a distance. Every time you saw the Warlock, just shoot it. Don't rush the Warlock. He's just going to throw an infinite Nova Bomb at you. And I don't know. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I enjoy it too. It's fun.
I enjoyed
It's
it
fun.
at first, but it got old.
Yeah, I think I'm more with Andy on this one. It's a nice change of pace for a little bit, but then in the end, it still feels just like another PvP match to me, and that's when I get frustrated.
So you weren't like staggering yourself with Mayhem and then like a normal match here and there or anything?
No,
See,
I just
had
play
to
something
make
until I get
myself
sick of it, and then
appreciate it.
I stop.
overdo it and then give up on it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's my PvP
Just keep
role.
sticking the pieces of gum in your mouth till you have to spit it out.
That's exactly it. Until I can't chew no more, it's done.
Okay. Have you guys tried competitive?
Yes.
Just a
Yeah,
little.
every now and again.
Just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay, so now have you had better experiences or worse with competitive versus quick play? I ask this
Worse.
because I personally tend to enjoy it more because it's skill-based matchmaking. So you're going to get put against people roughly the same skill as you.
Yeah, but that's the problem though. No, because isn't it based on light level though?
No.
Oh, is it like so? Like it knows like how good you are of a player.
Yeah, they base it on some MMR/ELO type of ranking. Their metric is not known exactly what they use. Like, we don't know specifically
I
what
don't know,
they're
because I feel like I
using,
get decimated every time I play in competitive. I feel
It
like I
re-
get crushed
So it's
every
not.
time.
It's not just a kill death ratio metric.
No, it wouldn't just be based on that. When you play competitive, it's more just getting used to the games types, because when I first started, it felt very difficult to win matches at competitive at the beginning, but once I got down the maps that are played and the lanes and everything, I started to have a better grasp of exactly what to do on each map and each game style, given the, there's only 2 game modes. I don't mind it so much at this point. I definitely prefer it over quick play. I like the game modes better.
What are the game modes in?
Countdown and survival.
Oh, those ones suck.
All right, so we have sucked and Brian.
Yeah, I think I'm more with Romano. I feel like I like having a challenge at some point, which is fine, except that I think I agree with Romano. Every time we go in there, I feel like we're more likely to lose.
Yeah.
But if I play quick play, I feel like I have better matches and win more that way. And I get obviously I get less frustrated when I'm winning. So
Of course.
Do competitive wins count for call to arms?
Yes.
yeah, I think anything does PvP wise.
Okay.
Trials,
Even like Iron Banner stuff.
Mayhem,
Yeah.
that all counted for Call to Arms.
Well, I knew Iron Banner and Mayhem did that. I wasn't sure because when you go to the Crucible screen, it only shows the milestone under the quick play. It doesn't show it under the competitive. So it wasn't I always go to that one just to make sure that I get the call to arms weekly done first, and then after I'm done with the weekly, I'm like, I'm done with PvP. So
It'll count for both.
okay.
So, all right, on to the elephant in the room of trials.
Fuck you, Trials.
I have yet to try trials, so I don't.
We tried 2 matches, I think.
We've tried a couple times, and every time I don't think we've won one match.
I think
not even close. We did it with you, Darth Pivot, one time.
Yeah. You guys did your first trials matches with me. I think
Yeah.
it was you two and Beresford.
Yeah.
came in with me, and shout out to Monster. We go up against Monster in our second match.
Oh, that's right. You made it a point to point out we played like the second best person in the world or some crap.
At the time, I think he had more Trials wins than anybody in the world. He was number 1 for Trials wins in the world at that time.
It jaded us. Never going back. Fuck that shit.
When you go in with 3/4 of your team being on their first or second Trials match, and you run into a streamer like Monster, it's going to be a very rough outing. And Trials has become much more tryhard as the player base has dwindled some. You have much, much, much more difficult runs in Trials at this stage of the game than you did in the first couple months.
Well, that's all the more reason for me to play.
Well, you have the advantage of being on PlayStation, which still gets the most Trials players every week. So, you've got the most players on PlayStation, so you still get more Trials players than the other systems do.
So there's a better chance you'll be matched with crappy people that you can beat.
Yeah.
I have to find 3 other fools, though, on a weekend day. I got the flawless armor, I did all that kind of stuff, and, actually getting there, Monster himself, I won a raffle from him, watching his stream the one day. I got one run from him that way, just got carried. I have no qualms about saying, after the first couple of months, I needed carried. Once the player base on Trials really started going down, you need a carry to get through it. It just got to a point where a decently put together team was not going to stand a chance of getting flawless, because at some point during your ticket, you were going to run into a team that was running a full squad of, 2.5 KD and up, and you were just going to get annihilated unless you were a team like that. So,
isn't there an achievement for just getting one Trials win?
Yes.
Indeed there is. That is the Trials
and I want to get
achievement.
that fucker real bad, and I haven't won one goddamn match.
Well, I recommend trying harder and hoping that you get put up against really shitty people. They're still out there. I think if they...
I think a lot of people probably were turned away from it by now.
And that's the problem, is that the player base for Trials is going to continue to go down so long as the main base of it remains to be as talented as it is.
So basically, we should have just did it at the very first time it came out.
Honestly, I have gone flawless 9 times, and a good, I think 6 of those were well before it started to get this way. So, it's important to stick on that end of things. But I think when year 2 hits will be your time to really go for that. Because I think that's going to bring a lot of people in. Maybe the May DLC will bring a lot of people back. That's quite possible. So, there's a couple things that they've been talking about recently with sandbox changes coming. And to get to the quotes of this, Chris Barrett, who is the game director for Bungie, was quoted directly as saying, "Destiny 2 needs more weapons that matter, both in power and the hunt to acquire them. Exotics need to live up to their name, and the most skillful or visceral weapons like snipers, shotguns, and fusion rifles need to return to glory. We're on it." And the following day, he said, "This might not have come across strong enough in the update. The Sandbox team is an amazingly talented group and are hard at work on these changes." So what he's talking about there, with revelations more from even the current this week at Bungie, is, snipers, shotguns, and fusion rifles, those are special slot weapons from Destiny 1 that I think a lot of people want back in the special slot.
Yeah.
And it revealed today, I didn't pull the direct quote from today, but they do mention talking about changes to weapon slots in the current This Week at Bungie. You guys, listeners, anybody, you can go look up Bungie.net and check that stuff out. They are talking about weapon slot changes, and I think if we get a specific slot just for snipers, fusion rifles, and shotguns, and they start changing that,
it does feel like they're out of place in the heavy, but they don't feel like they have a place in the energy weapons as well. They're kind of like on the bubble.
I feel like if you're gonna keep them in heavy, they got to be beefy.
Well, yeah, there's that part of it. They need beefed up if they're going to stay in heavy, or they need their own slot.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's been talk about. I've seen talk of people wanting one of two things to happen. One of them being that energy weapons get put into the current kinetic slot alongside kinetics. And you can pick between them. I mean, as it is, it's still not an easy decision. As easy as you would think, because kinetics do more damage than energy weapons do. But energy weapons do more damage to shields. So take your pick on that.
Yeah.
And then put these weapons into a new special slot and just, like wipe the energy slot, call it special again, and put those weapons into it. The other is to simply add a fourth slot and give those their own slot. I like that option better.
I like that as well.
Well, yeah, who doesn't want to carry more weapons?
Yeah,
exactly.
more guns? Oh, darn.
You're telling me I could carry 3 auto rifles now, maybe?
What if it's relegated to a sniper rifle, shotgun, or fusion rifle?
Shotgun.
See,
Okay,
and
well,
everybody has that
there we
opinion.
go.
See, I'd go.
That's when I get my when we're playing PvP and get my creeper around the corner and somebody just comes around the corner, bam, bam, take that.
He's a corner camper with a shotgun. That's fun.
Quarter camper with a shotgun or a sword. That's all I use those for.
See, me personally, I think PvE, I'm going Telesto the whole way. Like, that'll be my exotic slot.
Well, Mike, you said his quote was talking about sandbox. Is that referring to PvE or the entire game?
That's the whole game that they're talking about.
See, when I hear sandbox, I interpret that as like the PvE stuff.
Well, I mean, in Destiny, it applies to both.
Okay.
Because they don't differentiate between the two when it comes to weapons and armor and PvE, PvP. They function the same way.
Okay. See,
So,
I don't know. Maybe I guess I always thought they sort of tried to get different, not like glaringly different, but slightly different weapon stats depending on where you play. So like shotguns might be beefed up a little bit more for PvE, but when you go in PvP, they don't want everybody running around with shotguns and blowing everybody away in one shot, so they nerf them a little bit for PvP.
well, the way they did that in Destiny 1 was they just nerfed the ammo. When people started going ape with shotguns all the time, that's when they made it so that, the shotguns didn't spawn with ammo and you had to go pick it up.
Right, point taken. Okay.
So that coupled with all the information we have, I'm thinking the sandbox changes toward PvE, cool. Toward PvP, could save it. Because personally, if you give me a shotgun back, a sniper back, shotguns, fusions, and snipers, I perform better with, and I think everybody does because they're all one-shots, but you perform better with those than you do with your primary or your energy, whatever you want to call it now.
Yeah.
The problem becomes that they then have to adjust the time to kill. So it becomes a quicker, fast-paced game, which they didn't outright say that today, but they did say they are making our Guardians faster.
Okay.
They said just flat out, you're going to be able to move faster. Your mobility rating is going to directly affect your mobility.
That should have been happening from the get-go, so...
Well, I don't really notice a difference right now.
It does. It does affect, but it's not noticeable.
Yeah.
They're making it noticeable, and they're making it so that ceiling, if you go up to 10 mobility, you're going to be really, really fast.
Yes.
And they've
my
also
traverse steps are coming back.
given a bit of a reference to Titan skating coming back, which is fantastic. So all around, it looks like they're trying to make us faster, and if they make us faster and they give us better special type weapons, they're going to have to decrease the time to kill. which that'll make it more like Destiny 1 PvP, which is, I think, what a lot of people do want.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I'll move on to what I have labeled as the future. And
In the year 2000.
So the things that we have for the future of Destiny 2, another quote from Barrett is, he says, "To be clear, we are adding more collectibles and hidden secrets to future expansions."
Black Spindle.
Something a la Black Spindle, something similar to that. He also says that Grimoire is an important foundation to the lore and world building of Destiny. We need many more stories and tales like it. And he says that's where we are headed. So they're looking at adding a lot of the things back that we had in Destiny 1. There's also a quote directly, I think it was an interaction between Cosmo and Chris Barrett, or possibly somebody else, but there was an interaction where dead ghosts were brought up as possibly coming back, or something like them.
I want my Gallahorn back.
Well, that was a question I was going to get to. And that's how I think a good way to look at the future of Destiny is the things that are coming. So, we got our Masterwork armor. It's decent.
They were talking about doing shader changes too.
Yes, the shader changes coming up. They have not given us a thorough detail on what that's going to be, but it'll be nice if we get the chance to equip shaders permanently without having to pay, Glimmer for it every time.
Honestly, I love shaders, or at least I loved them in the first game. Haven't been able to use them, but I'm so afraid. Like, I have a stack of 3, but I want to use them on more stuff. And then as soon as I use them, but then if I find something better, I have to get rid of what I might have been saving for weeks at a time.
I'm there.
I have yet to actually equip a shader. I look at the
I'm too afraid just to burn through them.
Yeah, I
just sit there.
I look at the previews all the damn time. I get a new gun and I look at every single preview on all the shaders, but I don't ever equip it because I'm so afraid
I
that
only
I'm
keep
going to
the
run out of it.
legendary ones or whatever.
You never know when you're going to get them back.
Yeah, I mean, the stupid ones like EDZ foliage or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I get rid of all
like,
those. Anything that's green, I get rid of. I'll keep the purple ones.
But I don't recommend that necessarily. Some of the one EDZ shader is basically camo. So if you didn't preview that before you deleted it, you're missing out on that.
I like bright, obnoxious shit.
Oh, okay then.
Bright pink.
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, somebody's missing the Glowhoo. I want Glowhoo back.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah.
Yeah, those shader changes need to happen, and if they're not going to happen, for the love of God, can we just delete them all with one press of the X button?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
seriously. They're just taking up room in my vault at this point.
I hate when I got 17 of them because I haven't cleaned them out in a long time. I got 17 of one, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, Andy, if you're not doing it, clean them out, man. The ones you're not going to use.
I do. Trust me, I
do. Lots of glimmer and lots of bright dust you can get off of those things.
You can get bright dust with those things?
Yes,
yeah.
legendaries.
The purple ones.
Legions drop bright dust.
Oh no, I like all my
legendaries.
legendaries. Fuck that.
I know. So that's the only ones I don't get rid of is the legendary ones.
I get rid of everything that I'm not going to use. Like the pink and purple one, it just gets deleted every time I pick it up. I'm not going to use this pink and purple shader.
Well, I won't use that one.
I'm just deleting it.
You know what?
It's just what it is.
Maybe it's just me, but what I would like to see would be a legendary checklist, almost like your collection screen in the vault. Because all the legendaries are exactly the same now. You don't get weird re-rolls from Destiny 1. So I would like to see which ones I have owned, currently own, and previously owned and maybe deleted or whatever.
Yeah.
I would like to see, perhaps see some random rolls come back.
I could see
I feel
maybe
that added
the
something to
stuff.
shoot for. It added something to go for, a reason to grind out to try and get this roll on this gun. It added some excitement to getting that Better Devils. that isn't there right now because it's the same better devils every time. Now, Destiny 1, you got an ill will, and you're looking like, does it have Feather Mag and Luck in the Chamber? Does it have Feather Mag and Luck in the Chamber? And then you get there and you're like, shit, it doesn't. I have to keep playing. So I think either way, I would be okay with whatever answer they came up with. If they gave us a checklist, a thing like they do for exotics for the weapons, since they don't have to be re-rolled.
Yeah. Also,
I think that would be fine.
I think that they should also give us enough vault slots to have every single legendary in the vault, if you wanted it.
More vault space is coming.
Oh, thank God, because I am fucking running out.
They did. That was part of the timeline update they gave us.
See, I don't really keep exotic stuff in my vault. Some legendary stuff, but
I don't
mostly
keep
just
any
exotic.
exotics.
The exotics, you
Andy,
can just...
I'm with you. I'm a hoarder.
Yeah,
I hang on to as much crap as I want to.
Yeah, when I got a new gun, I put it into the vault, and I'm like, oh shit, what do I have to delete from my vault now?
Yeah.
Oh, that sparrow is a sucky piece of shit. Let's delete that.
I don't keep any of that. Like ghosts, sparrows, ships, they're just on my characters. I don't keep any of them. I need to start rocking all 3 characters because I have way too many ships and sparrows and ghosts to even keep them all honestly,
on one character.
more characters is more space for shit.
I know. I just don't have the time to make more.
I think I have 2 ships, 1 speeder, 1 sparrow. Because I find a sparrow. I don't give 2 shits as long as it's 160 speed. Whenever we get some sparrow racing, that's all
really
I need.
like getting new ships and finding which ships and Trasmat features I get and stuff. But honestly, the sparrows don't. Every time I look at a new sparrow, I'm like, looks like my last sparrow. Looks like my last sparrow.
The exotic one they're selling this week, if you have the bright dust for it, go for it. The Predator looks like a shark. It has the shark painting on the sparrow.
Oh, no, that's
quite honestly,
that's so mean.
Yeah, I have the exotic sparrow where it like immediately spawns, and
that's a random roll actually.
Oh well, I just use that. Because, you know what, I don't actually get to see the sparrow when I'm riding it, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like, when you get the any sparrow that drops, any ghost that drops, has a random roll of possibilities that can happen for it. So any sparrow can drop with that perk on it, and that's the perk everybody wants, is the instant summon. That's... I don't care what any of them look like, if I'm using an instant summon sparrow. But... to move us forward quickly, I want to touch on a couple of the things they talked about that are coming. March 27th, we're getting an Iron Banner that's going to be 6v6.
Ooh!
So that's your date for 6v6, folks, is March 27th. That's going to be big. Nightfall Challenge cards also come in that day. Quitter penalties for Crucible come in that day. So people leaving matches and leaving you screwed...
Bastards.
They're going to be penalized for it now.
I don't find that happens too often. I find that I enter matches in the middle a lot, but I don't find a lot of
you do enter a lot of losing purposes.
Yeah.
Also that day, we will be getting the exotic weapon and armor sandbox changes. So they're going to try and make exotic weapons and exotic armor more relevant on March 27th. February 27th, come the Nightfall Strike unique rewards. That's a little less than a month, guys. A few weeks. We're going to get unique rewards for Nightfalls. There's a few other things coming that day. The Nightfall scoring and high score tracking. That probably is going to mean the end of the timer in the beginning of the challenges.
I'm excited for the scores.
I hate that fucking timer.
Yeah, I think
makes me feel so panicked.
Yeah, the scorecard I think would be a lot more fun.
I agree, and I'm really looking forward to it. I like to go in and solo Nightfalls just for a challenge, and I hate having a timer on me while I'm doing it. So, vault space increase is listed as May. They don't list an exact day, but this is going to be DLC 2. Eater of Worlds Prestige is finally coming in May. They said pretty soon we're going to get an answer as to why that's been so long. They haven't yet said why it's taken so long, but that's coming. And to me, the biggest thing that's coming with that DLC is private matches. That to me is huge because with the clan and with you guys, Brian, Mike, I will thoroughly enjoy going into a private match and just having a night of fun PvP with your friends as opposed to going into random matches with random people.
I'm sure we'll still get pissed off.
Yeah.
But that's
at
the point,
least
though. When it's
you
with
can
your
be
friends, it's the trash talking is fun.
Yeah,
This is true. This is true.
unless you're playing Pat and Halo, Yeah.
Oh, god damn it, Pat and Halo. Pat and Destiny is pretty bad, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
Yeah.
Shout out to Pat.
there's a few other things coming on each of those dates that are less significant.
Aren't they changing the mods yet again as well? Isn't there a mods
Yes,
2.0?
with DLC 2, they are going to be changing the mods again. That's going to be changing mods so that we feel more powerful. So our super recharge rate, our grenade recharge rate, abilities, melees, our recharge rates is what they're looking at with those mods, supposedly. That was in today's This Week at Bungie.
Yeah, because I feel like the mods that I have currently don't actually do anything.
They do a little. But it's minimal.
It's
very
barely noticeable.
Yeah. The other big thing that they don't mention here that I think we're looking at probably the September year 2 big DLC where we're all going to shell out $60 again is Rumble. Everybody wants Rumble back. Rumble was one of the most popular game modes from Destiny 1. Who doesn't want that back?
I don't know if I want that back.
So,
Of course.
everybody except for Brian wants Rumble back.
That's true.
I wanted to wrap up and just say a few things, have a little bit of fun at the end here, and ask you guys a few simple questions. So this can be Destiny 1, Destiny 2, I don't care what the answer is. But what is your favorite exotic piece of armor to use? Like I said, Destiny 1, Destiny 2, I don't care.
See, now I'm trying to think of like what was good in Destiny 1 that I
So I can't even think back to Destiny 1.
I like the Celestial Nighthawk in Destiny 1.
You did?
Yeah.
That was your favorite? Okay. That's a good answer. Celestial was just badass to down a boss with one shot.
Oh yeah,
Watch a
you
huge chunk
headshot
of
that
health
thing
go away.
six times power with your golden gun. Yeah, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
One exotic that I have that I used a lot in Destiny 1, but I have it in Destiny 2 and probably never use it, is the Titan, the helmet of Saint 14.
Yes.
When you use the bubble shield and things walk in there and get disoriented and you can just fuck them up.
Yes.
That was a lifesaver for a while.
Yes, if there's one thing I could have them change about supers in Destiny 2, it would be make Defender great again.
Yeah.
Please. Defender was so much fun to run in Destiny 1 without a
It was a
bubble that's
lifesaver,
viable in Destiny 2. Like, it was still fun, don't get me wrong. Like, with Mayhem, running suppressor grenades and being the fun police through the whole thing, throwing a bubble up and being fun police, that's just fun. And I enjoyed it. But it got old quick because it's, there's not much else to it. You know what I mean? You're not used to a team in a raid, in anything, with that bubble.
Yeah.
Make it good again. Give it something.
Yeah, I think they concentrated too much on the throwing the shield.
Yeah. Which I like, too. I like
Yeah,
that
that's still
aspect of
fun,
it.
yeah.
But I want it to be useful in a raid, in a strike, something like that. And it's just not by comparison at all. But that said, Helm of Saint 14 is a great answer. Also one of the coolest looking exotics.
Yeah.
Mike?
I gotta say, the Traverse Steps is probably one of my favorite. Is the Warlock boots, just because the fact that it did make you move mobility a little faster. I felt like,
the
fact that whenever you would run over an ammo, it would just automatically reload your shit for you. So that was pretty nice. That was huge, I thought.
As a Destiny 1 Warlock, I can't agree more.
It's Destiny 1 and 2 because it's in 2 also.
Yeah, I know. It's just Destiny. I'm saying, for me, I was a Warlock in Destiny 1.
Warlock, yeah. So yeah.
And Transversive Steps made all that much difference in any raid you went into.
Yep.
Especially Wrath of the Machine. You picked up a part for the Siege engine on Wrath of the Machine. You crouched as a Warlock. You had the faster crouch walk. And you could crouch and move fast even though you were carrying a part. It didn't slow you down. Any boss damage section where you could get heavy ammo to drop on the ground while you were doing it. Specifically, I come to Wrath again with Vosik Part 2. You're standing on that middle of that platform where all those enemies you just killed are at. You've got the perk from your gauntlets from the raid where killing Fallen's giving you more heavy ammo. I never had to reload Sleeper when I was doing damage to Vosik. You just move to your left or your right a little bit when you want to reload, and you step over some ammo, and you're good to go.
Yep.
In Destiny 2, I go with Lion Rampants for the Titan. They're an exotic that feels like an exotic to me in Destiny 2 is armor. You can jump forever in a day, float forever in a day. It makes your Titan jump fast, but like a warlock. And they're incredible. Brian, if you haven't used them yet, or you don't have them, you need to get them, or if you have them, you need to use them.
Yeah, I think I feel like I'm either missing maybe 1 or 2 pieces of exotic gear for the Titan, so I have a feeling I probably have those, but I probably just never used them.
If you're
hyping them up for me.
You need to get yourself to Xur tomorrow and buy yourself one of those Faded Engrams. 97 Legendary Shards, guaranteed exotic that you don't have. That's a good deal.
Yeah, I did it a couple weeks ago. He gave me the Colony.
Favorite new gun in the game.
What's the Colony?
Well, we'll use that and we'll jump off and we'll go favorite gun to use. Not even exotic, just favorite gun, period.
In either game?
Either game.
It took me a while to get it, and as soon as I got it, I just loved the crap out of it. But I think I got it too late in Destiny 1 that I didn't really get as much use out of it, and I still yearn for it, I guess, is the Vex Mythoclast.
Okay.
I loved that thing. I thought the design of it was fucking cool. It chewed through ammo like nothing else, but it was fucking fun to fire.
I never got that one. I got killed by it a lot, though.
Everybody, at one time in Destiny 1, it seems like everybody got killed by that gun a lot.
Yeah.
My only problem with Vex was chewing through the ammo and not having deep reserves. You could only hold like 120-something total or something, and that was just...
Oh, yeah, you ran out of ammo all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Andy?
Probably Icebreaker, Destiny 1.
Icebreaker?
Ooh, that's another good one. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I got that one.
Good choice.
Just lucky fucking drop pretty early in the game, and it carried me through most of Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Nice. You
Nice.
needed ammo or something, you're just like, oh, I just gotta wait it out.
Yeah, I'll just sit here.
Yeah.
And it'll come.
I'm just gonna
The ammo
behind
come
this
to
rock
me.
here. Hey, anybody have a deck of cards?
Refilling ammo was fantastic. My only issue with Icebreaker I always had was I did not like the zoom. I like shorter zoom on my snipers as opposed to that really close-up zoom that Icebreaker had. But yeah, can't beat refilling your own ammo. Like, it's endless ammo.
And being able to shoot something from like a mile and a half away was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. What do you got, Mike?
I don't know. I love me. I already said it. The Gallahorn. I always loved the Gallahorn just because of the heat seeking or whatever, the tracking rockets, and I'm a big rocket guy.
It also clustered, didn't it?
Yeah, the clustering, the heat seeking.
Oh, you
rockets.
could get it clustered. Yeah.
Yeah. And they would still track.
No,
all of them would track.
Yeah, Gallahorn had Wolfpack rounds, is what they were called.
Yeah.
What it did was it would have an explosion, and then the Wolfpack rounds would track back to the target as well. And it was, Gallahorn, can't go wrong with that answer, no matter what the Destiny question is. Personally, I go Genesis Chain. Was the auto rifle from Wrath of the Machine.
Okay.
That gun there wasn't an activity I couldn't use that gun for. You could use that. It was viable in PvP. It was viable in any PvE format. It had high caliber rounds, Firefly, and a high impact auto rifle. It was viable the whole route. Then come Age of Triumph, they give us an exotic version that has a solar burn. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's one gun I'm sad I never got. I was trying to work at it and I never finished it.
It was, Genesis Chain was one of those ones I'm not gonna sit here and make any qualms about it. I finished Wrath of the Machine about 120 times, so...
I think it's funny
I
that
had
every
plenty
one of
of it.
us mentioned a gun from Destiny 1.
Well, yeah, Destiny 2 guns don't feel as unique, but I will say the Colony is pretty fucking awesome.
That is a cool gun. Yeah, it's a grenade launcher that tracks.
It has little bugs.
Yeah,
little bugs that run down your whatever you shoot at.
Yeah, it's pretty
yeah,
slick.
dude. It's a PvP killer.
Yeah.
Like if you get that loaded, you're getting 2 kills. You just got to get 4 shots off in the general direction of enemies, and unless they manage to dodge them for quite a while, they're going down.
Yeah.
Like it's fantastic.
Wait, what is it again? What is it?
It's called the Colony.
What is it though?
It's a
exotic grenade launcher.
An exotic grenade launcher. Okay, I'll have to keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah, and honestly, Legend of Acreus, which you get from doing the raid quest, which I'm sure you guys still have, that shotgun is disgustingly good.
Oh, that's the one that's sitting in my heavy weapon slot and still haven't, just like the Rat King, just taking a slot.
Yeah.
and sitting there.
Yep, that is what that is. That gun is, it's easily my favorite shotgun in this game. But yeah, speaking of weapons for me, Genesis Chain. I'm sure I have a lot of people that would agree with each one of us out there, because ain't a wrong answer when you talk about those. So same thing, and I'll throw out 2 questions at once to kind of move things along. We'll do 2 here. What's your favorite subclass from either game, and what was your favorite shader from either game?
Ooh.
Fuck, I can't remember shaders.
I mean, the shader that's... What one did we mention earlier that was, I think, from Crota? The
Glowhoo.
glowy one?
Glowhoo.
Yes, that one.
Okay.
I use that one all the time.
I like Glowhoo myself. Personally, for me, it was Queen's Web. Was my favorite shader.
I don't even know what one that one was.
Queen's Web was one of the ones... I want to say it might have been from Skolas. But it was like dark blue, dark purple, and white.
Okay.
And it was a pretty cool shader. Definitely the one I used the most.
Yeah.
Wildfire was pretty cool too. But I used Queen's Web the most. Definitely.
What was the first question, too? I kind of forgot. I got
favorite
focused on
subclass.
shaders. Subclass,
Subclass.
okay.
I don't know. I think
I've always been a Void Walker. I
Yeah.
always stick with Void.
I tend to go
That's Warlock.
solar.
You like your golden gun?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it's really hard for me to say because I use probably Sunsinger the most, but I like hammers better than any of them. I have more fun using hammers. I'm not saying it's the most useful, but throwing hammers at shit is just fun.
Yeah.
So
See, I think I've been doing a lot more of the... Especially now in Destiny 2 with the arc for the Titan. Fist of Havoc that you can use a couple times now instead of just one go and done.
Mm-hmm.
I roll with that a lot.
Yeah,
That seems to be the one I always come down to.
Killed by it so many times.
I'm honestly, I started slowing myself down. I'm up around 70,000 kills with my Striker emblem, and I was like, let's start getting the Hammers emblem up there and work on that some because it's getting to be too much. But I have seen somebody with more Striker kills than me. There was a guy that he's a buddy of mine. He had 100,000 on his Striker Titan, and he was already up to over 20,000 on his hammers. I was like, he's just like me though. He's got 3 Titans, so it's not like we're doing this on all 3 characters. We're doing it with 1. But
right.
And then the question I gave you guys some time to prepare
That I still don't
for,
know if I have an answer
some
for.
time to think about.
The shader, I am gonna tarnished copper. in Destiny 2.
Oh, okay, the green and copper thing.
Yeah, like that one.
Nice.
Is that an Iron Banner one?
No, Iron Banner's Iron Wolf and Iron.
There's a new one too.
Yeah,
There's
there's
Iron Wood, Iron Wolf, and then
can't remember the third one.
Iron Lord, maybe?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Green and copper sound like it should be Iron Banner colors.
Yeah, the Destiny 2, the only one I can't think of the name of it. It's one of the Vex Chrome ones. There's a couple of those, but it's the one that's green and rusty.
Okay.
That's my favorite Destiny 2 shader, but there's still probably 10 shaders I like better than that from Destiny 1.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
playing Jan. I like monochromatic. It's black and white.
Hey, that was not
Black
bad.
and
I
white
like
with a
that
little bit
one.
of red.
I ended up liking
if
that.
you ever see my Jeep, you'll know why.
Chatterwhite, man. Go back to Chatterwhite.
Oh, Chatterwhite was
Oh
pretty awesome,
yeah,
too.
I did like that
Yeah.
one too. Yeah.
All right, so you guys had time
God damn
to
it,
prepare
taking me back to Destiny 1.
most desired emote that you want to see put into Destiny 2. So you've had time to think about it. I prepared
Oh,
you guys for
Jesus.
this question, but I'll give you guys my answers first, and then I want to hear what you guys have in mind.
Yeah, maybe to help me think of one.
For a long time, I have wanted a twerking emote. We've been talking about that since probably a year. It was probably last December when me and some of the guys from the clan started talking about wanting a twerk, just to be able to kill one of your friends in a private match and go up and twerk on his orb before you run off, just for the hell of it. We talked even back then even about wanting the salt, just to be able to sprinkle salt on people, and we got that one. So, was excited for that, and I have wanted the lightsaber emote since I seen what they did with the exotic ones in this game. I wanted a lightsaber. Just something
that was
just
gonna be one that I was going to try to suggest too. Yeah, especially if they add that like exotic effect where you can actually see like a lightsaber glow and stuff like that.
That's what I mean. Like, we have the table, we have the salt, we have
Yeah.
the ramen, these things now, so why not give us a lightsaber?
I got my quick draw. That's what I use all the time.
Oh, see,
like
I want
that
that
one.
one real bad.
That's mine. That's what I have that all the time.
I feel like they sold that one at Eververse a couple weeks ago.
I think they did. I got mine just the luck of the draw. Just ended up getting it. I think I got it through Eververse. Like it's just like a random bright dust thing. Like the little turn-in thing.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
so I think, what did we talk about before the show?
A lot of wrestling ones.
I know. Yeah, I got
the
stuck. I really
wrestling
stuck on
ones.
wrestling ones.
The Hulk Hogan. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, giving the ear for Hulk Hogan.
You
Yeah.
know-
Or the Ric
I'm
Flair
gonna
dance,
just say-
like the two-step.
I'd love to see him do the dummy fall, the Ric Flair dummy fall one,
Oh.
where he gives puts his dukes up for a second, then falls flat on his face. That'd be great.
I'd like to see just like that you can actually interact with people.
That's what I was thinking too.
Like
Like a high five
anything.
emote or something.
Yeah, like anything.
They had one in Destiny 1 that was like the refer a friend emote that you could do with someone else that had it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That it'd be cool if they added more like that.
Well, look at because we were talking about the wrestling one, and I said about doing the Stone Cold Stunner. I'd be like if you just want to go, like you could just go up to like some random player and just give him a Stone Cold Stunner. Freaking awesome.
It'd be
Or the
great if you
diamond
could do
cutter.
that on. Yeah, like like to me that'd be great if you could do it on patrol to people and actually just have it kill them instantly. Just run up, stunner, guardian down.
The problem with that though, like all you would see is just people in the fucking tower just running around
Oh,
stunning
yeah.
people.
They would
Nobody
have
would
to
be playing
put
the
like a
game.
throttle on it of some kind where you can
Yeah.
only do like 1 per 10 minutes or something.
Or put a wrestling ring over by the hangar.
Now you're just asking for trouble.
Alright, okay, so all seriousness, mine that I just thought about would be I want a Kamehameha. I want a Kamehameha blast. I want some Dragon Ball Z, something like that, where the dude just powers up and just gives a good old power blast or something like that.
That'd be
Nice.
a good one, yeah.
Trying to think of like dance moves, but I can't think of any. Like the few dance moves that I can think of are already in there. Like the Apache. Like I love that dance move. That's in there.
I'm thinking like that one just made. I don't mean to cut you off, but that one made me think. How awesome would it be if you could get one like Star-Lord from the end of Guardians of the Galaxy? Like, give us,
yeah.
like the,
Yeah.
and does the challenge dance? Okay, toss it back.
Yeah.
Just keep dancing.
I'd even love something that was like if you interact with somebody, almost do like the fist pound that then you explode, and then when you explode it, there's an actual explosion that goes off in the like behind you or something. Yeah, like that would be cool.
Yeah. I want my Kamehameha blast.
Get the Ryu Street Fighter.
Yeah, give me a
Hadouken.
Hadouken. Give me a Hadouken.
I was just gonna say I was thinking like the Shang Tsung friendship from Mortal Kombat 2, where he makes like the rainbow over his head and just gives a really stupid ass look. I think they could have a lot of fun with the emotes, and they do. And that's one of the other things we're getting eventually is an emote wheel, where we can have more than one emote equipped at a time instead of point, sit, dance, and whatever the one we want is, so that you'll be able to mix and match these things. I don't know if you guys have gotten far enough into messing with the emotes, but if you have the ramen emote, you're actually able to get out some ramen, and then if you switch emotes in the middle of it to your dance, you can kind of rub the ramen all over your body. Because it sticks to the character's hands, the little light up stuff sticks to them. And you can do it with pretty much all of them. You can rub some salt on yourself. Pretty much any of them will work in some way, shape, or form doing that.
Suddenly I just picture Mike just having some free time and be like, I'm going to rub some salt on myself today.
Rub some salt. I'm more likely to do that with ramen, honestly. Like
Love me some noodles.
Make me a hot bath of ramen.
All right, we're getting visuals now. Move on.
Be glad, podcast, that this is not a video podcast.
How about walk like an Egyptian?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Give me a moonwalk.
Yes.
There was... you guys probably seen it. Andy probably didn't, but on our clan page, we posted up for people to do a challenge, a quest line for our clan, for members of our clan, where we were going to give them rewards and shit. And we had 4 people make it past the first step of the quest. And one of the things we asked people to do for the second step of the quest was record themselves moonwalking, just, really just walking backwards, because there's not an actual moonwalk in the game, but moonwalking through the lasers in the Pyramidion. Just actually having to do it without looking.
Oh, God.
Exactly. It was just a way to fuck with people, really. That one was just for fun, just to fuck with people. But it's not as hard as it sounds. We did all these things before we did. But yeah, we wanted people to moonwalk through it. It'd be even cooler if we could have them actually do a moonwalk with an emote. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Because we got the Thriller dance already, didn't we? Destiny 1, wasn't
Destiny
there one?
1, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because I was real excited when I unlocked that for some reason. No, but yeah, that might actually been an emote that I was like, nope, I'm buying this because this is fucking great.
I think you did.
I think I did spend silver on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only emote from Destiny 1 that I never had because I got the game too late was the hammer dance. I never got the MC Hammer
I might have had
parachute
that
pants
one too.
I think you did.
Yeah.
I never got that one, but that would have been great. And we still don't... oh, no, there is a YMCA dance now, by the way.
I do. I have that one now. I was
Yes.
real excited I got that
Oh
one.
shit, really?
I feel like we need to get 5 or 6 Guardians together, and everybody does the YMCA dance in sync so that we can, and
Are there
I've seen...
sets of armor that can make people look like Indians and construction workers? And policemen?
we have enough ethnic stuff going on. Like they have the Asian-inspired Iron Banner stuff. I don't know if we have any other culturally inspired armor sets in the game.
So you start with the samurai and build around that.
Yeah, we'll have our own village people.
Yeah,
We'll do our own version of it. We'll figure something out. And you got shaders, so you could just have a
the construction
light
worker
blue-
shader.
Yeah, the construction worker shader. I'm sure if you mixed and matched it right, you could get there. I mean, I had one shader set where I made my Titan in the Eater of Worlds gear look like fucking Rocksteady because it has a stupid horn on its head, and someone was like, "Dude, it looks like a rhino." I'm like, "Rocksteady," and but yeah, you could do shit. Why not? So I mean, that's really all I have, and I think looking forward, it looks good for Destiny going forward. I think it's a shame that we wanted this game to be what it's eventually going to be. We wanted that at launch. I think anybody in the community will agree that we wanted there to be more to this game at launch than there was.
Yeah. Well, it's the same complaint you could level with Destiny 1. Granted, you came late to the game when it was pretty much an already finished game, but for those of us that played Destiny 1 when it started, it within 3 years we got there. Like, by year 3, it was what we wanted.
Yeah.
So I sort of expected the same thing with Destiny 2, to them, like, start somewhere. And even after we first got Destiny 2, that first couple weeks to the first month, it was great. It was awesome. And once you get past that first month, then it's like, now what?
Yes.
Yeah. The grind is real. The grind is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think part of that comes from the fact that we just came from, the end of Destiny 1, where there was so much content at the end of that game. And in this type of game, don't get me wrong, I would have rather they not reset us with a Destiny 2. I would have rather it just been another huge expansion and a huge update to the whole game and have all the content from Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 in one big game. Yes, I would have loved that. But they chose not to go that route, so be it. And we're at a new game. We weren't going to have 3.5 years worth of content at launch of a new game.
Right. Well, they want to keep people hooked and keep them playing for those 3 years. So what's the best way to do that? Dribble in content every couple months to keep people coming back after they get bored.
Right.
They just have to hope that they don't alienate their player base by waiting so long between updates that people get so bored they don't want to come back.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're looking at now, is trying to solidify the base of the players to make it a more enjoyable all-around experience in between updates.
Yeah.
Something people want to come back to. Give me, like for me, Destiny 1, I kept going back to play that Wrath on the Machine raid to get that ship from the raid. It took me 60-some completions to get that ship. But I got it eventually. I got to that promised land at some point, but it gave me a reason. That extremely low drop, that elite feeling gear that was there, gave me a reason to go back and continually play it. And everybody has their own reasons. But whatever that reason is, it needs to be there for everyone. And I think it'll keep it alive. What they're doing, I think it'll be perfectly fine in the long run. I think they're going to lose more players over the course of this first year, and they're going to gain most of all the same ones back come year 2. So I think they're really going to turn around all the mistakes that they did make. I think are going to be turned around by year 2.
Yeah, I think if they do a content drop like Taken King sometime in year 2, everybody's going to come back. Because Taken King was an awesome content update for Destiny 1.
Yeah, it was. I had a lot of fun playing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I anticipate, is year 2 is going to drop a huge, awesome update like that. And we're all going to end up very happy with where it ends up at that point.
It's going to cost us another $40 to $60, but...
You know what? I'll happily throw it down. I threw down $100 how many months ahead for Destiny 2 when it launched, and I'm not disappointed with that yet. I know a lot of people might be. I'm not one of them. I'm still playing the game pretty much every day. So, it's still, to me, the best shooter experience there is.
The gameplay's tight. Like, it's really hard to find a better shooter experience.
Yeah. And that, to me, is what keeps me coming back.
Yeah.
Toy.
Toy like a toiga.
Toy like a toiga. But that's really all I have. And I'm looking forward to what's to come.
Nice. All right, well done.
Any future thoughts from you guys on any of it?
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm actually talking about it kind of makes me want to play now.
So, there you go.
See, it's everything, and I was the same way with Destiny 1, where I get so into it for a while, and I just have to step away and just take a break, and that way I appreciate it more when I come back.
That's why I'm kind of glad, like, right now I'm playing Assassin's Creed, and that's all I've been playing, and so it's kind of making me miss it a little bit, not especially, like, talking about it, but I just read, like, the new, like, updates that are coming for Assassin's Creed, and I'm like, oh, that sounds really fucking cool. So,
yeah, it never fails. Whenever Destiny updates something, I'm like, all right, I got to try this new thing and see if it hooks me. And it'll hook me for a week or two, and then I might need another break after that. But it's still one of those games that I still come back to. It might be a few weeks, but I'll always come back to it.
Yeah. You figure how long we played Destiny 1. I mean, we played Destiny 1 until Destiny 2 came out.
Yeah.
I mean, we really did.
Yeah, definitely get my money's worth out of those games.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so that wraps you up, right? That's all we got through your outline?
Yeah, all wrapped up. I'll let you do your usual outro. I'll allow the host to do this thing.
There's not too much left. Well, you did a nice job. Good job for your first little hosting extravaganza there.
Maybe I have a future in it.
Kudos to you.
Not.
All right, so that'll wrap it up for our Destiny talk. We'll see what we do next week. I have a feeling there will probably be some trailers to talk about next week if we want to get together for that. Super Bowl is probably going to drop some trailers. We did get a trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp early in the week, which I would talk about because I actually really like that one.
Looks fun.
And
awesome.
From what I'm hearing rumor-wise, by the time we try to record next week, we might even have a trailer for Solo finally.
Venom's supposed to get one too.
Venom got rated, but I think they're still thinking a week or two before we see it. So it might not be out in time to talk about it. But I've been wrong before, so we'll see. All right, so if you've enjoyed the show, please stop by iTunes. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. Be sure to share, subscribe, favorite the show wherever you decide to listen, whether it's iTunes or somewhere else. As always, you can find us on Facebook. Search for Bry Guy and his Super Friends, or go to facebook.com/Bry Guy Super Friends. And you can send us questions, comments, topic suggestions, any of that stuff there. Or you can email us, bryguysuperfriends@gmail.com, or tweet us at BGSuperFriends on Twitter. Neither of those I check very often, so if you've sent something to us, I probably haven't checked it in a month, so we'll get to you eventually. On behalf of Andy, Mike, and myself, thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.